Carless in Seattle? No problem. Likely you're only in Seattle for a couple of days for an Alaskan cruise, work, or a quick weekend getaway. And you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a car rental or parking fees, or a DUI. Here are 5 things you can do within walking distance or a quick, cheap Uber or Lyft ride. The number one thing, and the most obvious, the Space Needle. I know it's touristy and expensive, but it's still pretty cool. Warning, be prepared to wait for 45 minutes after your designated entry time. Be sure to grab a window spot for the elevator. It's fun. And fast. Once you're up top, you'll be 500 feet high above ground level. Enjoy the lovely panoramic views of Seattle. And on the lower floor, try to grab one of these coveted bar tables to enjoy the incredible views and a very overpriced cocktail. But hey, you're on vacation, right? Number 2, Chihuly Garden and Glass. I had never heard of this place until I got to Seattle, but it is incredible and breathtaking. These glass sculptures are enchanting, delicate, and mind-blowing. Words can't describe it, so I'm going to stop talking for a bit. Number 3, Museum of Pop Culture. If you're really into music, television, movies, or all of the above, you'll definitely enjoy this place. There are a lot of guitars and memorabilia from your favorite rock bands. There's even an entire room dedicated to Nirvana. Be sure to check out the enormous 60-foot wide screen featuring virtual concerts and movies. There's also a section dedicated to video games. But since I'm a nerd, my favorite things here were the science fiction and fantasy costumes, props, and memorabilia. Lord of the Rings, The Terminator, Resident Evil, Jason and Aliens, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica. Whether you're a geek or a music lover, be prepared to spend at least a couple hours in here. Number 4, Seattle Aquarium. This isn't the biggest or best aquarium in the world, but there's plenty of fun sea creatures to visit and enjoy. The underwater dome is especially awesome. The porcupine puffer was my favorite. I also really wanted to take home one of these adorable sea otters. And last but not least, and most obvious, Pike Place Market, Seattle's famous farmers market. It's a fun place to visit if you're hungry. Locals do seem to shop for local produce and fresh seafood here. Even on a weekday, it gets very crowded here. I know a lot of travel shows, travel bloggers, and guidebooks like to hype up the fresh seafood here. And yes, it is all very beautiful and tempting. But are you really going to buy a $80 lobster tail and cook it in your hotel room? I know I'm not. I'm going to dine out and not do any dishes. But overall, Pike's Place is a fun place to wander, eat, and window shop. Even though half the vendors are just tourist traps, there are some fun, unique places to look at. The original Starbucks is just outside Pike's Place. I personally think it's crazy to wait for 2 hours for a cup of coffee, but maybe I'm alone in this. Regardless, this line is insane. And that's 5 easy things you can do in Seattle without a car. Be sure to check out my other video, 10 places to eat in Seattle. It's a delicious food tour. For more details, check out my website, johnnytrekkie.com.